Good morning. My name is Jason Wampler. It's 5:57 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Fullerton, California, United States of America. Uh, what can I say? I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist. I am a motivational speaker. I wear many hats. You might have seen me on my other channel, which is called The Rocket Minute. Um, at 6 a.m. I need to talk quietly because my neighbors upstairs are still sleeping. I want to start doing episodes of, what do I call it? DimestorePsychology. Unfortunately, somebody else has stolen that name. Frankly, I'd like to see them come after me and try and force me to change my name because honestly, I came up with it first. They took it from me. Anyway, um, I'm thinking now is a little bit too early to be talking and giving a video. Um, my cats are sure stirring up a noise. Um, there are a lot of things that I have to say. This is an unscripted show. Of course, I edit and censor myself. I don't look very good at certain angles. I am a little on the heavy set side. I do want to say that I do approve of everything Jordan Peterson says, but Jordan Peterson doesn't have to take an opposing stance to this new woke movement. Um, I do want to say this. Uh, there is a reason for why women feel and react the way they do. Uh, there's an I shouldn't be saying that either. Or no, the part. Um, Human beings respond according to their abilities, according to what they perceive or think are realities in their environment. People respond based on their level of education, life experience, their mental and emotional makeup. People respond to certain situations and stimuli, whether they be positive or negative, in their environment based on what they are and who they are. Bottom line, my point I'm trying to make is there is a reason for why women are adamant, the women who are behind the movement of woke, which I'm still trying to clarify with regards to its actual specific definition, and an attempt to mediate any and all friction and strife between men and women. Now, there are people who are lost causes. We have people with disabled personalities. They're so far left field that they can't communicate with anybody. They're not going to change. I'm not talking about people like that because you really are spinning your wheels with somebody has an impossible personality. And I know several people like that. But the type of person I can mediate anything with anybody so long as they're willing to listen to what I have to say. Again, there are some people who just are so reactionary and defensive and angry, you have to give them some time before you try and approach them again and let them get enough life experience and perspective over a period of time, come back and say, hey, Jason, I'm ready to talk now. That could be a matter of months or even years, depending on how quickly they want to evolve and grow up. So you can't control other people. So I'm just sharing my observations. Jordan Peterson is very brilliant. However, he makes one critical mistake and he allows himself to be drawn into a bullpen at a level that is lower than his dignity and his level of intelligence and experience and education. The man's a doctor. He has a PhD, may have more than one PhD for all I know. He's very intelligent and he spearheads the movement to correct the thinking of those who are thinking incorrectly. And I agree with everything he says, but I don't engage in diplomacy for the sake of diplomacy. But when I talk with somebody, an individual woman, that who is steeped in woke, what I want to do, my approach is to listen and understand exactly where they're coming from and understand the origin of their thinking. What is it that led to their thoughts and conclusions? Because not only are people worth listening to and worth affording their dignity to. Number three, there's a reason for why they think and feel the way they do. Now, as somebody who has a tendency towards wanting to be a psychologist, I am actually a college dropout. I'm trying to go back to school to continue my degree, bachelor's in industrial design engineering. Also, I'm planning on going to University of Arizona for my MBA. But I keep sidetracking my education because I get so busy with business. But this is important. The Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro and everybody else who who are real men who are gallant about being on the front lines, fighting against incorrect thinking. What you're doing at times might be spinning your wheels, and this is for you too, Jordan and Ben Shapiro. You might be spinning your wheels with people who don't have anything else to go on except for incorrect thinking. So you're taking everything away from them. They have nothing. It is a form of stripping somebody of their dignity, and you got to be careful about that. It doesn't imply bad intent or ill character on your part. It's just an incorrect approach. You help people to share their own foundations with you. You let them keep that foundation and their set of beliefs, and then you share with them things that you know and understand so that they can keep their platform in their house, or they can come over to your platform, your foundation, your house, and they can go back and forth. You don't build them a shopping mall. You don't tear down their church before you build them a house or a shopping mall, as the saying goes. I know it sounds funny. The most important thing to understand is whether or not it's correct, there is a valid, almost scientific reason for why women think and act the way they do with regards to supporting stance on woke. And now there have been a lot of things that have taken place that have high-profile media coverage, instances where the wheels of justice simply trample women's rights underfoot. I can think of several examples that are so bad they're shocking. An instance where Cuban national beheaded 8 women, and he came to the United States, committed 2 more acts of arson, and now Cuba doesn't want him back because they don't want him. It's a problem. The United States doesn't want him. They don't know what to do with him. But the guy's still alive. He gets away with killing 8 women by removing their heads. He commits 2 acts of arson, and here we go. I hope the guy gets what he deserves. But I think it's a woman's right to be able to keep their head and keep living. Another instance in Scotland, I believe it was, where a woman was raped because she was wearing suggestive underwear. Well, I don't understand if she's not showing her underwear off to anybody and asking them to rape him. Underwear are usually covered by pants or a skirt. So how did they know that her underwear were suggestive? Well, because this case is high profile, internationally it's high profile, because women's rights are important, they're valid. They may not be served, it may be that they're not being served up correctly, but irregardless of that, a woman who gets raped takes the man to court, judge throws the case out of the court or decides the man's not guilty because a woman was wearing sexy underwear. Well, how do you determine a woman's wearing sexy underwear if they're underneath the rest of her clothes? You have to access that part of her body to see that she's wearing sexy underwear or sexually enticing underwear. And by that time, the man's already raping her anyway. So again, I don't understand the thought process that led to making the determination the man was innocent to begin with. Sweetheart, be quiet. That's Paxton, and he wants to add to the... Come here, Paxton. He wants to add to the discussion. My bottom line is, for Mr. Jordan Peterson, for Ben Shapiro, anybody else who wants to fight on the front lines, I'm kind of a middleman. I'm not for or against anybody. I'm a mediator. And look at that. Paxton just wants attention because he sees that Daddy is busy. But what I'm telling you, Jordan Peterson, I would like you to reach out and contact me. What I'm telling you is I could suggest a different approach whereby you not only take the rug out from underneath anyone who wants to argue against your very, very sound, very, very well engineered, structured reasoning, and make them just completely shut up and listen to everything you have to say. Because that's what I do. When Jordan Peterson talks, Jason Walter listens. That's me. I listen to everything you say without interruption, without disagreement. You think correctly, but your approach to helping people understand the process of logic and thinking correctly, sometimes it's just more wasteful. Dr. Peterson, you're kind of just wasting your time. So instead of rescuing somebody from a dirty swamp, make them get out of the swamp and take a shower. And then this is Paxton, my kiddo, right here. And he wants to interrupt for some reason. Again, if you're a psychologist or a psychology professor, take the rug out from underneath them and just listen to what they have to say and ask questions that take them all the way back to the origins and their experiences and observations. And then from there, start analyzing, picking everything. Don't have the intention of winning the argument, winning the war, or solving their problems. Just try and listen and understand. That's how I'd approach them. And my grandmother always used to say, you can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. And Dr. Peterson, Mr. Ben Shapiro, you win people over to your side by listening to what they have to say, and then just showing them understanding and respect, and not saying things like, your feelings and thoughts are not valid. That's what puts up fronts, and that's what shuts any conversation down, and that's what pushes people away and aggravates the situation instead of correcting it. If you want to put somebody's stupidity on display, you can go on Jerry Springer, if that show still exists, or Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is adept at making people look really, really bad. He is a sensationalist. I'm of the understanding he might not even be a doctor, so I'm kind of becoming disappointed. He's losing value. Dr. Phil is losing value in my eyes because I'm kind of wondering what he's really all about. And I've seen and heard of some other things that kind of make me wonder if he's even a doctor at all. But anyway, that's enough of that. The ability to communicate with other people is an art form. It involves diplomacy and thoughtfulness. One of the most important things you have to understand is that you have to be a good listener. If you have to have a greater amount of concern for the other person than you do yourself. And of all people in the room, you have to be the most intelligent, mature, and experienced. But you can't show that. You just let them continue to think you're just a nice, sweet, simple person, may not be as intelligent or worldly wise as them, and you're here to listen and learn and understand and sympathize. And then from there, you're more in a position where you can comfortably reason with these people because they're no longer defensive. Their feelings aren't going to get hurt. They're not railing against you because you're railing against them. Another thing, Dr. Peterson, you might want to drop the scowl when you discuss things with women who may be part of woke movement. Understand that, number one, there's a reason for why they feel the way they do. You have to get to the bottom of that. Number one. Number two, when you come in with a scowl, it looks like you want to fight them. Your facial expressions, your scowl, and your demeanor alone already put them on the defensive. So right off the bat, they're going to want to argue with you because of the expression on your face. Smile, be comfortable, show concern, and show the fact that none of what they say are going to do can even remotely compare to what you're going to tell them about human psychology. And the whole world knows you know more about psychology than they do. So keep that in mind. Help that to give you peace. Don't be complacent, but be compassionate. Have a sincere look of concern on your face, but be peaceful. And it's not being smug or self-righteous, but it is a matter of confidence. If you're angry, or have an angry look on your face, Dr. Peterson, you're already starting a fight. Don't do that. So you don't need to fight anybody. You are Dr. Jordan Peterson. You're established as an authority on human behavior and psychology. You don't need to fight people. Once you enter the room, you're the smartest person in the room. You've already won the war. Nobody else can stand a chance against you. So with that knowledge in mind, again, you're not condescending to them, but you're coming in like a brain surgeon talking to a group of 4-year-olds. I mean, speaking on not generalizing that particular perspective, but that's just kind of how it is. So, and if they talk to somebody like me, I'm going to do the same thing. And now, if they want to get vitriolic and, for lack of a better word, start attacking my dignity, I'll get up and walk away. But if they're going to engage in a disinformation campaign or try to sabotage or trash my reputation, I'm going to let them have it. I'm the type of man. I may not look like this on a camera, but my presence at 250 pounds, broad-shouldered, and a really, really large upper body, camera doesn't really show. And my demeanor and the fact that I'm not above, fighting somebody endlessly in any way, shape, or form, man or woman. I will put them in their place. They're not going to enjoy what happens if they cross my path and make me angry. But I don't want things to get to that point. I'm not a bully. But believe you me, if they want to fight, they're going to have a fight on their hands, and they're not going to enjoy it. They can be trashed and humiliated because they're not going to outthink me, and they're not going to outthink you either. So, but anyway, just try to approach with more understanding, listen more, understand where people are coming from, and imagine if you were a psychiatrist or a psychologist being paid $400 or $500 an hour, listening to somebody share their problems with you, you wouldn't be there to fight with them and voice your own thoughts and feelings and opinions on them. You'd be there to help them and assist them based on listening and understanding where they're coming from. Just a suggestion. You are Dr. Jordan Peterson. I admire you. I respect you. I subscribe to you. I follow you. I support you. I believe in everything you say. And thank you for your contributions to the world of human psychology and helping other people understand that, sometimes the problem is not the other person. It's not you. When the person's arguing with you hysterically, the problem's not you. The problem is them, because they're arguing with you hysterically and you're just trying to be friendly with them. Anyway, that's it. This is the first episode of DimestorePsychology. My name is Jason Wampler. This cat is named Paxton. He just knocked a picture off the wall, so evidently he has to be part of the video. Anyway, I'll shoot these videos once a week. The other people who've named their channel DimestorePsychology, guys, you don't have that much of an imagination. I know you took that name from me. I want you to come after me, and I want to see what happens. I'd love to get in a legal fight with you about that. My information is going to be on this video. Please like and please subscribe. We're at the 17-minute mark. I usually like to shoot 15-minute videos for DimestorePsychology, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick to around a 15-minute format. I have another channel. It's called The Rocket Minute, where I design and build rockets. I show you how to do the same, surprisingly enough, for a fairly low cost for materials. But I'm not even going to promote that channel because that has nothing to do with human psychology except the feeling of joy. Anyway, I'll talk to you about that later. Thanks for watching. You've been great. Talk to you next Sunday. Bye-bye.